HowExpert! Top 10 Disney animated movies. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit howexpert.com to learn more. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more HowExpert Top 10 videos in the future. Moving on, let's talk about the HowExpert Top 10 Disney animated movies. Number 10. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. When many think of the Disney Company, the familiar falsetto voice of Snow White comes to mind. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first full-length animated feature film ever produced when it was released in 1938. Released during the Great Depression, the staggeringly high earnings that film brought in were a huge surprise to Walt Disney and his team of creators. These pioneering creators, later to be dubbed Imagineers, utilized innumerable clever techniques to produce this cinematic masterpiece. The beauty of the serene colors and the lifelike animation of the characters enthralled audiences. Disney used live models in the studio as inspiration for each subject, including the wild animals in the film. In an attempt to add the illusion of realism to Snow White, Imagineers even applied store-bought makeup to her face on the animation cells. All their efforts resulted in a film that remains one of the most popular Disney movies over 80 years later. Number 9. Moana. This most recent film on the list has become a quick favorite with Disney fans. Released in 2016, Moana was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature and won an American Music Award for Top Soundtrack. The film is set thousands of years ago among the islands of Polynesia, Moana being the first Disney princess to hail from the Pacific Paradise. This strong-willed female protagonist carries on a new Disney tradition of featuring female heroes who don't bother to wait for saving and take charge of their own story. Imagineers conducted months of research into the cultural practices and histories of the societies of Polynesia. Disney artists even labored to replicate the arrangement of the stars in the night sky as they would have been over 2,000 years ago during the temporal setting of the film, in order to produce breathtaking backdrops for the vibrantly animated film. Number 8. Mulan. Based on the ancient Chinese legend of a female warrior forced to disguise herself as a man in order to prevent her aged father from being forced into battle, Disney's Mulan was released in 1998. The emotionally riveting score was praised by audiences and critics, and went on to garner a number of awards. During this period, known among fans as the Disney Renaissance, many of the company's female protagonists were depicted as vulnerable and in need of help. Mulan broke from that pattern and introduced young viewers to a different type of Disney heroine, a woman who could control her own destiny. Number 7. Toy Story. When Walt Disney Company's Pixar Animation Studios released Toy Story in 1995, it marked the first release of a film made completely with computer animation. The film's story was also remarkable, with the imaginative concept of revealing the secret world of toys serving as its primary plot. Enhancing the appeal of this monumentous project were the familiar voices of seasoned actors Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, whose expressive performances puffed the breath of life into their animated plastic counterparts. The friendship that blossomed between Buzz and Woody was unconditional and irresistible to viewers. Number 6. Cinderella. When many think of the Disney Company, the view of the glittering, turreted castle featured at the start of each film may come to mind. The image should be synonymous with the story of a young woman who only ever gazed at the building's royal splendor from afar, only to finally call it her home. Walt Disney's Cinderella is based on a tale hailing from a number of European and North African folk traditions, with the version captured by the Grimm brothers being the most well-known telling. This familiar animated feature was released in 1950 to wide-reaching critical acclaim. Audiences were captivated by the vivid retelling of the young woman's flight from her palace amongst the cinders and her escape into the light of the grand ballroom on her delicate slippers. The film has become so integral a part of Disney that in 1971 the castle was used as the centerpiece of the company's second theme park, Walt Disney World. Even the shade of blue used by Disney Imagineer Mary Blair when creating the look of the protagonist's ball gown has become iconic in its own right. prompting fans shopping for paint to request Cinderella Blue. Number 5. Aladdin. Aladdin will forever be a favorite among Disney fans. Some may list the vibrantly illustrated backdrops, the capricious monkey Abu, or the remarkable score as their favorite element of the film. More often than not, however, viewers treasure the comedic performance of Robin Williams as the genie, far above all the film's other jewels. The movie, released in 1992, was another example of a Disney piece that seizes upon the eventual success of the underdog, inspiring viewers to reach for their dreams, no matter how high. Aladdin's determined spirit would appeal to anyone who has ever struggled to overcome adversity. Number 4. Beauty and the Beast. With its grand backdrops, charming minor characters, and award-winning soundtrack, 1991's Beauty and the Beast has become not only one of the most popular Disney movies ever released, but one of the most beloved films of all time. Bibliophile Belle appealed to many young girls who favored reading over princess play, while still boasting stunning gowns and royal excellence. One of the most captivating moments in the film is the ballroom scene. The outstanding sequence coupled a computer-generated background with traditionally animated characters to produce a startlingly fluid and memorable moment. Number 3. The Little Mermaid. The 1980s saw Disney animators grappling with a changing film market and the inability to identify where to go with their next cinematic storytelling. Their answer came in the form of a Hans Christian Andersen classic, The Little Mermaid. The story of a young girl living under the sea but dreaming of a world above captured the imaginations of young moviegoers. Ariel's desire to be independent appealed to an audience full of children who had been raised by women of the 80s, who grappled with glass ceilings. While the young siren and her powerful voice may be a favorite for many, a large number of Disney fans preferred the villain of the film to its protagonist. Ursula has become an overwhelming presence within the Disney cinematic universe, having enchanted viewers with her bravado and enigmatic statement about having once lived in Triton's castle. Will Ursula one day get her own live-action retelling? Number 2. The Lion King. With a stock of stunningly traditional and computer-animated characters, The Lion King soared into theaters in 1994. Audiences immediately fell for the charismatic cub, Simba, and shared in his inspiring journey from grieving youth to triumphant leader, all set to a stirring score. The stunning vistas created by the Imagineers served as a vivid backdrop for the moving story. Continuing to press out upon the boundaries of computer animation, Disney digital artists spent 3 years perfecting the 2-minute wildebeest stampede scene. The efforts of dozens of dedicated Disney Imagineers resulted in a film so powerful that it continues to resonate with audiences on the small screen and on stage in the form of an award-winning musical. Number 1. Frozen. Few would ever challenge themselves to compare the thunderous reception ignited by 2013's Frozen to that of any other animated film in history. The movie remained the top-grossing animated film of all time until unseated by its sequel in 2019. The film is only Disney's second feature-length animated work to center around the relationship between 2 female members of a family, with Brave being the first in 2012. Lead actors Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell enticingly portray this sometimes strained, yet eternally resistant relationship that 2 sisters can share. If you liked our video, be sure to click like and subscribe for more HowExpert Top 10 videos for all topics from A to Z in the future. Also, let us know what other topics you want us to do a HowExpert Top 10 video in the future in the comments below. Thank you. Have an amazing day and take care. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit HowExpert.com to learn more.